Time to talk with our County Commissioner, Joe Sciaretti. We welcome Commissioner Sciaretti in every month. And, boy, I'm just looking at the list of events. How are you?
Great. Thank you. Great to be here amongst
lot going on.
The rain, huh?
Just
good day for a duck.
A good day to talk about all the things going on.
Yes, sir.
A lot of things are coming to an end. I know you guys had some big capital projects that you were working on very feverishly this summer.
Yes.
And some of those are now behind you. So, but that just means you look at the next items
Putting the last
on the list.
nail in, some of these. We want to make sure the building demolition is, of course, that's been down, and we had to shore up some of the adjacent properties. Some of the buildings in downtown, regardless of what downtown you're in, Yorksville, Denison, Newcomerstown, Philly, Dover, they have shared walls. And if people don't know what those are, that's just what it sounds like. There's one wall, and what they did is almost like a lean-to. They built a building with three walls and a roof around it, and the butt ends were shared, and so that was not unlike what we had with the First Drive property that's been raised now for probably going on 2 months. But then that had to be compacted. They had to, it's not coming to my mind right now, but they had to, for lack of a better word, make sure that, all of the compaction, that's what I'm looking for, was happening. And the 57 gravel was put down so we don't have sink problems. And now the walls are being attended to, and the flashing of all the adjacent buildings. And so there's always things going on, but you're exactly right. The majority of those projects are done. We do have an open house coming up for the office building. That's going to be in November. The community is not only welcome but encouraged to come out to our open house to see what was done to the inside of the office building. And that is going to be from 2 to 4 on November 14th. The office building will be opened, as it's always opened, but from 2 to 4 there will be a special open house. We'll have the contractors there from Gorcon, as well as First Choice Painting, Aaron Minard, and just to display what they had to do. They took out the wallpaper. It doesn't sound like a big deal. Well, it was a big deal. Four to 5 layers, because a lot of the rock drywall came off, and so they had to rebuild it back up. And big undertaking, and they did a phenomenal job. And,
good, and a chance for everybody to see that.
Community to come in and see it.
The other thing is, I notice this because I drive by early in the morning and it's still dark, and the lighting. This is really neat, because I know this month with breast cancer awareness, you've had the pink lighting, but last month it was blue, and so it's really neat to look at the courthouse, and if you're sitting there at the light, thinking this is really a beautiful sight to see when people are driving into our city.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
So a great display.
We have a phenomenal courthouse.
Yes, we do.
Anybody tell you that we don't? We have a very unique, of the 88 courthouses. We have 12 Roman Greco arches. Our bowl, our dome, is the largest of the county courthouses' domes. We have a lot to be proud of in our heritage. First school, first church, right here in Tuscarawas County in Ohio. In terms of Ohio. But with that said, you're exactly right. And I shouldn't look at money I shouldn't think about money when it comes to this. But I know some of our neighbors. And regionally, when people had redone their courthouse, they shared what they did it for, and how much the lighting was, and how much the renovation was. And we did it for a % of what those other counties did. They did a wonderful job too. And when you're kind of the guinea pig regionally, others like us are going to call you and say, "Who'd you have do it?" I don't believe our lighting is overkill. I think it's tastefully done.
Very much.
And when you have a lot of lighting, sometimes there's more monies associated with it. So, again, I don't want to take away from anybody, but I just think that the contractors really nailed it. Thank you for mentioning that we can even have special, like prostate cancer, certainly breast cancer awareness, where we can light up the courthouse and show our support.
So everybody should be proud of that. We're talking with Commissioner Joe Sciaretti, and it's just hard to believe that we're end of October, that you guys are going to start turning around here, and it's going to be budget time again.
Absolutely.
So it just never ends.
You got it. We'll be meeting with those departmental heads starting next week, going into November. And God willing, we'll have a ratified budget at the end of December. We used to do February. When I came in, we would do February. And for a new person coming in, now Representative Landis, who is now Commissioner Landis, he came in at the end of his term, and he was able to be a part of it last year because we changed it. And I think any new person coming in, they'll be a part of the budget. They don't have to, understand it and or come in on the back end, pardon me, because a lot of times those presentations from the judges, from the county engineer, from the sheriff, those presentations are done at that time from child support, from JFS. And so we thought, you know what, we can try to truncate this schedule and make it happen. Of course, Commissioner Abiel and myself are both up for election this coming year. Our opponents have until December to file. And regardless of who's staying in, who's coming in, who's going out, we feel this budget process, that we brought it up, we brought it back into December, or moved it up, pardon me, that person will get a good understanding of what's in store for them for the remaining year. And with that said, I just want to mention we started, one of the items we started this year was TCEDC. And that's the new Economic Development Corporation, Tuscarawas County Economic Development Corporation. And we're going through a mock, kind of a mock presentation up in Akron of really how to market our sites. We have land available. We have owners that want to market the land. We know, just like the Provia deal, which we just ratified and finished this month, that if we can bring in an employer that, like Provia, is going to bring 400 jobs in. We have other sites that have good access, have utilities to them, but there's a science to it. And so November 1st, there's a group of folks from TCEDC, this new Economic Development Board, it's going to go up there, and they're going to get criticized. Part of the mock exercise is these site developers, and I guess one person in particular doesn't pull any punches, and that's what we need. We need critiqued and told, listen, you're coming in here with this. You're coming in. This looks sloppy.
Gotcha.
Tell us what good looks like. And so that's going to happen on one of our properties in North Dover. There's properties in New Philadelphia. There's properties in New Cumberstown that are going to be on the docket that will receive that same type of rigor.
Never ends. This is great.
And we're excited to get that feedback to see, what's the best practice, what we're doing, how it can be enhanced, and ultimately bring more jobs into Tuscarawas County.
A lot of good things going on in Tuscarawas County, and our commissioners are very busy keeping everything in the air and moving forward, and it's a never-ending job. We appreciate all you do, and always appreciate the update, and we'll do it again in November as well.
I just want to say thank you to you, Steve, in particular, WBTC, and yourself for having the availability here, making time to have a State of the County discussion.
Right.
And I can't say enough about that.
Well,
we are grateful.
It's so important to let everybody know the good things that are happening in our county, and like you say, maybe some bad things. It's you got to take the criticism with the compliments, and we've got some thick-skinned, good, level-headed commissioners, and doing great work for us. And I think that it's important to let listeners know that we're in a good situation in our county right now.
Well, they certainly have a stake in it, and by
Absolutely.
you providing this opportunity to get a State of the County discussion in, you are keeping them apprised of what's going on, and that's when government and media partners really are, it's the best it can be.
And we're having a good time doing it, and we appreciate all you do. And next month, I want to talk a little bit. I know we touched on this in the past couple of months, but this census thing is coming up here very quickly for 2020, and so we'll put that on our November topic list here. So, Commissioner Joe Sciaretti, appreciate the visit.
Grateful.
All right, and we will talk again next month.